This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we have a most important concept in Spark, which is broadcast variable. Broadcast variable. What is broadcast variable? What are non-broadcast variables? You can call broadcast variables are shared variables. Okay, so let's talk about the difference between a normal variable then shared variable. Then I'll discuss about, I'll show you more about the broadcast variable. Okay, so 1 second, I'll just quickly write something. Okay, so let me declare one variable. Okay, then we'll see. I have written my Spark program, and one of the place I declare a var count equal to 0. Okay, then what I have done here, after some statements, somewhere I'm doing count plus plus with some condition. Okay, with some condition I'm doing some count plus. If something happen, this, else do this. Okay, this is what I did. Now I have a Spark RDD, so I'll go with RDD only for now. I have Spark RDD, so let me take partitions. Okay, please tell me how many tasks will be launched. 4 tasks. For every partition, 1 task. Okay, 4 tasks. Okay, now you guys tell me, so as we know that what are the program we have written here, this program will run on the each and every task. Yes or no? Now you guys tell me what will be the value of the count here. What will be the value of the count here? What will be the value of this count here in this task? What will be the value of the count in this task? What will be the count at the task 1? 0. Task 2 also 0. Task 3 also 0. Task 4 also 0. And task 1 incremented by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What will be the count value here? 0 only, because it's their local. A variable it's their local variable. It is their local variable. It's a local memory. It's their local variable. Here also it may have 1, 2. I don't have anything else. It has only 2 variables. It may has its own 0 or 1 only. So based on the condition, so it may have its own. So task 4 has 0 only. Let's assume that task 4 has a 0 only. So this count is a normal variable, a local variable. Count is a local variable. For every task, count is a local variable. When they're incrementing it, they're incrementing in the locally. They're incrementing in the that locally. They're not incrementing at the globally. Okay, this is a local variable. This is a local variable. Partition wise, so assume that I'm applying this count value based on some condition, and every partition the count will print for this task 5, this task 2, this task 1, for this task 0, because it prints every partition. But instead of that, if I take a variable, instead of that, if I take a variable which is a global variable or shared variable, global or shared variable, shared variable. Let's take an example. I have taken a variable, something. That variable is where count equal to 0. Let's assume that I'm taking the same. Okay. Now, what will happen in this case? In the shared variable, am I audible to everyone? Please let me know if I'm not audible. Okay, you guys can message or can call me. Now, here, since it is a global and shared variable, if any one of the task initialized 0, let's assume that, okay, in any one of the task initialized 0, when the task 1 is incremented to 1, it will reflect to task 2. Let's say the task 3 is incremented, so already it is reflected as 1. So already reflected as 1. When it is incremented 2, it will become 2 here. It will become a 2 here. Okay, instead of writing like this, if I write it in a different way, it will be easier for everyone. This is a task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4. So when you go with a shared variable, there will be one different location, different memory location. And here you have a count to 0. This is accessed by this. This is accessed by this. This. Now if the task 1 is incremented, it will get increment here. So what will be the value for the task 2 when it sees? What is the value for the task 3 when it sees? What is the task for when task 4? So the updated value, instead of 0, it will show 1. Let's say task 2 is incremented to 2. It is incremented to 2. So every task sees it has a 2 because it's a shared memory, right? It is a shared memory across all the tasks. So let's say task 4 is incremented to 3. So everyone can see 3. And when the task 3 is incremented, it will be 4. So it is what is happening. This variable is a shared or global variable across. Shared or global variable across. So that is the difference for the local variable and global variable. That is the difference for the local variable and global variable. So your broadcast and accumulator are shared variables. Are shared variables. Okay, it is not for the one task, it is for the across the tasks. It's not for the one job, it is across for the task. So when it comes to the broadcast, it is a shared variable. It's a single word actually, broadcast. Okay, so I have just separated to explain. Broadcast, it's a distributes, okay. It is a read and write variable, okay. Oh, sorry, it's a read only variable, guys. Sorry, it's a read only variable. It is a shared but it's a read only variable. There is something called accumulator. Accumulator. This accumulator is also a shared variable. It's a read and write variable. Please excuse me with the spellings. Okay, sometimes I write very bad spelling. So, right. Broadcast is a read-only shared variable. Accumulators are read and write variables. Read and write variable. We'll talk in detail about these things. Let's talk about the broadcast variable. Okay. Let's talk about the broadcast variable. As we discussed, broadcast is a shared variable. It's a global variable, shared variable. It'll across the tasks, not the task wise. It's across the tasks. Now, I'll give a simple scenario. So we'll discuss there whether the broadcast variable is suitable or not there. Okay, I have a two data sets, guys. Data set 1. Data set means ideally data. It is a little bigger data. And I have a data set 2. It's a small data. When we say bigger data, it's beyond one block. We'll call as a normally block bigger, which is a beyond one block. It's a bigger. Sorry, excuse me. So 1 GB. And this is close to 50 MB. This is close to 50 MB. So this bigger data set is a employees data. The smaller data is a department data. Obviously, we'll be having more number of employees, and departments will be 4 or 5 departments or 10 departments max, right? But employees, you can have a hundreds to thousands to lakhs, okay, millions to billions of dollars. Now, so I need to join these two data sets. I need to do a lookup from employee data set to department data set. Lookup. I need to do a lookup. Okay. Try to look at here. I'll try to explain in the MapReduce way. The same thing I can show you in the Spark. Actually, this idea also came from there only. Okay. So when I have a 1 GB data, this 1 GB data will be divided into how many parts? 8 parts. So if you consider as a block size, if you consider a block size is one partition, it will be divided into 8 parts. It will divide into 8 parts. It will divide into 8 parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3. This is for, let's assume that I will consider as the RDD for now. This is for RDD1, and I'll say RDD2, which is a small file. We'll say it's a one part, it will come. Okay. Now, when I try to do a join, okay, when I try to do the lookup, what will happen here? These all partition 1, partition 2, partition 3, and so on, 8, the RDD1 has to look up or come to this variable and need to look up and has to go back. This has to do a lookup, this has to do a lookup, this has to do a lookup, and so on. Let's assume that if you take a cluster, I'm going to take a cluster. I'll simply take 4 nodes, okay, to make it very simple. P2, P5, P3, P8, P4, P6. Okay. In one of the node, let's assume that you take node 6. I'm taking separate node for now. Node 5. Okay. It has this P1, smaller data set P1. Smaller data set P1. Try to look at the scenario, guys. The data has been divided and it has been running on the different machines. Okay, different machines. Let's assume that one executor only. Okay, let's assume that one executor only, one node and one executor, and it has a two tasks in every executor, two partitions in every executor. Now these guys has to join. These are the different data nodes and this is the different data node. So now what should happen? The shuffle should happen. Yes or no, guys? The shuffle should happen. Yes or no? Because these bigger dataset blocks required this smaller dataset block to do the join. So every partition will go and look up here and come back and do this operation again partition. So it should happen for everything. It's not only for one. Okay, if I keep it in the bottom or up, bottom or up, wherever it is. Okay, every task has to do a lookup here. So not one time. No, partition 1 has so many keys. Partition 3 will have so many keys. Partition 2 will have so many keys. So all these guys has to do a lookup. Lot of shuffle will happen. Lot of shuffle will happen. Lot of joins. Lot of shuffle will happen. So here it's showing only 6 lines. No, not actually 6. It will be more. It will be more. To avoid this, what we do, the smaller piece of data, we will put into different memory, which is called cache memory, nothing else. Okay, we will put into one cache memory. So let me take this all of them. So we'll put into, to avoid the shuffling, what we will do, we will put the small amount of the data into one reserve, one place, which will be accessible by everyone. Let's assume that that is that is cache. I'll call it as a cache. I'll call it as a cache. It is this cache also, I'll call it as a distributed cache. It's a distributed cache. Distributed cache. Distributed cache. I'm talking with respect to MapReduce terminology. We'll talk about the Spark terminology. Concept is same. It's a distributed cache. What will happen when I say specifically the smaller data set is a distributed cache? When I say it is a distributed cache, for every task we will write in every task we will read this distributed cache variable. We will read this distributed cache object, and we'll make sure that this is available with every map task. We'll make sure that that piece is available with every map task. That piece of data will be available with every map task, because when you keep in the distributed cache, there will be more replication also in the distributed cache beyond 10 times. I mean, by default other will be replication factor is only 3, but distributed cache will have 10 times, and every map task will copy it. Every task will copy. It will copy the data. So when this smaller data set is available with every map task in the form of object, you guys tell me now, is that lookup will be easy or tough? Is the lookup will be easy or not? Lookup will be very much easy, because that piece of data is available in the same machine, in the same task. It's very easy to them to look up. It really no need to shuffle through network, since it is there in the within the machine, same memory. It's a very fast to access. It's a very fast to access. Correct? And it do the lookup and perform the transformations, and it will return a results. You guys tell me, this join will be faster or earlier join will be faster? Before, where I don't have the distributed cache. So without a distributed cache, the lookup will be faster, or with the distributed cache, the lookup will be faster? Which one will be faster, guys?
Which cache?
Does everyone agree with me? I'm hearing only one voice.
Yeah, with distributed caching.
With the distributed cache, we'll achieve the faster lookup. Sir, no. I see only one. Suma, Varsha, Venkat,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Raghu, Prapurna, Chandu,
Yes, Ravi.
right? So distributed cache is faster because it avoids a lot of shuffling. It makes sure that every piece is available to every task. So when it's available, make sure that every task is the smaller data set available with every task. So easily to look up and get the data and done that and return the results, right? The same concept in the broadcast the Spark will name it as a broadcast variable. It's also memory only. Okay, it's also memory only. Here what we will do, the smaller data set whatever we have, we will keep it in the broadcast. When you do the broadcast, what will happen, when you do the broadcast, what will happen, so there is something called a driver program. There is something called driver program. This driver program, let's assume that I'm assuming it's a driver. The smaller data set will be broken into chunks again. It will divide into chunks. Let's assume that it's divided into 4 chunks. I'll call it as a C1, C2, C3, C4. This all together is a P1. Okay. All together is a that P1 data. Now what will happen here is, anyway, I may require this arrow, but I'll just remove for now. And I'll also remove this part. This takes a So let's assume that I have removed all of them. Let's assume that I have removed no the small piece is available. Now what will happen is, in the distributed cache, this driver program will distribute the data. The driver program distribute the data across the nodes. It will distribute in the way of like a torrent protocol, torrent way. What is the torrent way? Can anyone tell me what is the torrent way? Torrent protocol. I know that most of you guys might have used before Netflix and all. There was something called torrent, and everyone used to download the movies from the internet. Movies, material. I'm not saying everyone movie material. Some people related stuff, some papers or whatever it is. So how it will work? The broadcast, the muTorrent works such a way that, let's say this is sending a C1 here. The node 1 is taking the C1 from here. It is taken C1, chunk 1, and it will keep the copy here C1. Okay. Not this become a receiver. This is become a receiver. This become a receiver, and this guy is a sender. Okay. Now let's assume that this guy also reading it. The D4 is received C4. Received C4. Now this guy is sender and this guy is receiver. Again, this guy is receiver. When D4 is receiver, D4 will become again a sender. D4 will become again a sender. So possibly he may send to here. He will send to this guy, hey, you take your C4. And this guy will send, hey, you take C1. And this guy can send here C4. Similarly, he can make C. And while this guy is maybe taking C2. So what I'm trying to say here, I'm sending you, let's say I have a 4 parts. I'm a driver program, and I'm sending one piece to Rishabh. What Rishabh will do, not only receiving that piece, he will give to someone else. It means I'm making use of his network also to share the data to someone. That's how the torrent protocol works. The torrent protocol works such a way that when you are downloading a movie, you can go ahead and look at the torrent protocol. I think I should have torrent. Let me see whether. Oh, it's not there. It looks like yeah, it's there. When you go to look torrent, you have a downloading and CD. Let me see what is there downloading. So something I was downloading. Okay, some Udemy video. So if I go ahead and right click on that that one, you can see the bandwidth allocation very high. Okay, and also you can see that set download, upload also. Download and upload also. What is it meaning? So I'm downloading the data, not only downloading, I'm uploading from my machine. It means my network is also making use. My network also making use. So not only downloading, my network or my machine also becoming a server to send the data. So that's how the broadcast variables works. The broadcast variable chunks the data, it sends the data to the receiver, other nodes, and whoever receives, and they also become a sender. They also become a sender, and they also start sending the data to across different machines. Is everyone clear about the torrent protocol, the torrent data? Is everyone is clear about the torrent way of sending the data?
Yes, sir.
Yes, no? So what will happen here, with the help of this, the data will be distributed faster. Okay, so everyone is clear about that. Let me clean it. Okay, let me clean this way. Now what it will happen when the distributing here, not task wise, we need to understand here executor wise. Here, this smaller data set, the broadcast variable, I'll say BV. Okay, I'll say BP1. So this BP1 broadcast variable 1 will be available with this executor. I'll write inside it. It's available here. BP1, 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 broadcast 1. Now the blood pressure is BP, broadcast variable 1. Broadcast variable is available with every executor, not every task, it's every executor. And every executor will cache this piece of data. Every executor will cache this piece of data. Then what are the tasks we have here, right? So since it is in the cache, it's faster to read. They'll just do the lookup. This is called hash map lookup. I mean hash join. Some people call hash join. So what will happen? Whatever the data is available here, every task, every key will be looked up in this, and they will start reading. So here also we are avoiding the shuffling. We are not doing the shuffling. The only limitation, only one problem we are getting into is because it's less than just 50 MB, right? So this 50 MB data has been distributed to the if you have a 4 executor, so 4 into 50, 200 MB data has been distributed. But still, we avoid a lot of shuffling and we achieve the better performance. Do you guys understand what is the purpose of the broadcast variable? And broadcast variable is a read-only variable. The piece of data will be sent. You cannot update that broadcast variable. Okay, so the broadcast will distribute across every executor, and every executor will do the lookup with the it may be having 4 tasks, it may be having 5 tasks. If they're running in the 5 tasks in every executor, they will do the lookup in the cache. They will do the lookup in the cache, and they will start joining or lookup and whatever it is. Any doubts so far? Any doubts so far?
Ravi, it's split to C1, C2, C3, right? But here BP1 only sharing with
I mean, it will club together. When it will become a full data set.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't get you saying something.
Ravi, here C1, C2, C3, C4 is splitted, right? So it's again it combined as a one BP1, BP like that, right?
Correct. It will be clubbed. I mean, all the pieces will be clubbed and become a single piece, what I can say, single piece, a single object.
Okay.
To divide these chunks to distribute in a faster way, nothing else.
Okay.
So in the torrent protocol also, you'll be downloading some pieces bits by bits, and it will be clubbed right.
Yeah.
Same way here.
Okay.
Yeah. Any doubts so far? So how this will be work, how this we will use in the real time? So that's the biggest question, right? How we will do this one? Okay, so let me give you a quick example. Why it is not starting? My machine is crying a lot. I have used somewhere. Let me search if I have a broadcast here. Well, source and all. Okay. You can look at here. This is how we are doing a simple join here, but still I'll show in a simplest way. So here, this was the Spark 1.x. I created a Spark context and I created a Spark configuration where I'll pass Spark configuration, then I'll create a Spark context, then I'm reading the data. Argument one is not runtime environment. So I created a sales data, I created a customer data, then parsing customer data is here we are passing. Okay. So here we're creating a map. So let me put in a very simplest way. Okay, instead of this difficult way, I'll put it in simplest way. For us, actually, it's taking time to type. Let me copy this common piece. I need this word count program. Okay, that's the reason I'm copying all this piece. Okay, let me take out this. I think I have already explained these things to people. They're very much clear. Okay, here before this, I'll keep, there is something called stop words. Stop words. Can anyone tell me what is the stop words? What is the stop words? Okay, I'll show you what is the stop words. Like the small words like a and the, like that, off, at, they're all stop words. They're all stop words. So while I'm doing a word count, I do not want to count this a and the any or not at b, because these are all I don't want to count. I don't want to count these stop words. I do not want to count these stop words. Okay, so what I do here, let me take out a list. I'll try to create a list out of it. Let me do one thing. Whether I don't know whether I'm able to create or not. I'll create, but I'll try to create array of array. I'll create. Very good. I got all the stopwords. Val stopwords equal to array of this. There is a possibility. Okay, this is very lengthy. Yeah, there is some possibility. I know that some places it might have broken. Give me a quick minute of time. I'm just figuring it out where it is failed. Okay. Why ours didn't get closed here properly? Why ourselves is not get closed? Yeah. Okay, I'll just take out this. I don't want to remove this. Okay, these are all the stopwords. These are all the stopwords. Now, the reason I have taken these stopwords, I want to remove them. I want to ignore these guys who are counting it. So I don't want to count a, and, am, those words. So I created a array. So after creating array, this is lookup for me now, correct? This is lookup. The stopwords are lookup, but my data file may be bigger file, right? My data file will be bigger file. So these are the stopwords are lookup. So what I do, I will make this stopwords as a broadcast variable. I'll make this stopwords as a broadcast variable. First, what I'll do, first I have to create a object out of it. So some kind of map out of it. Okay. So I'll create a map out of it. Let me execute this on the console first. Okay. I got this stopwords. Now what I do, 1 second, let me keep this aside. Penpad is disturbing me. Okay. Now, so I'll create a map out of it. Well, stopword map, stopword map. What I have to do here, my intention is create a hash map, or I mean to say create a collection Scala map and keep these words in it. keep these words in it. Okay, so for that collection dot go with a mutable map only, because I need to keep modify it. Mutable dot map here, it should be key value pair. I'll go with this. Both are strings. It's a string comma 1. I'll take string comma int. Okay, this is my map. It's recognized. Very good. It's recognized. So stop word map, I created a map. Look at here the empty map. I created empty map. There is no data in it. This is an empty map. So now I'll just go ahead and put the these stop words into that. Okay, I'll write a method loop for. I'll take words or word. I don't want the words. Word. Go loop through the stop words. Loop through the stop words. Stop words. Loop through the stop words. Take every character. Take every element. Take every element. Put into your map. Take element. Put into your map. So stop word map. In this, I'm going to put. In this, I'm going to put. What is this? Word. I'm just put the word. Okay, then I'll put a 1. So it's a key value pair. It will get the every element in the word. Let me close this map here. Closed. Now let me stop word map. This is how I got. I got the map. So what I have done, I created a stop and have created the map. So now what should I do? I have to write my broadcast. Are you guys following what I'm doing here? Are you guys following me?
Yeah, sir.
I'll say BC broadcast words, BC words. I'll say BC words, broadcast words. So broadcast variable comes from the Spark context. sc dot broadcast. sc dot broadcast. While you are doing a broadcast, you have to tell to your broadcast method. I mean broadcast which object you are sending. So I'm sending stop words. Stop word map. I'm sending stop word map. Okay. Now I'll read a file now. So I have a file, right? What is it file? I'll copy from here. Text. I got the RDD. So now here the actual the implementation. I want to check whether this will go with some pattern and all. So let's do one thing. I'll write some method. Okay. So 1 second. Let me take one method here. Guys, it take another 5 to 6 minutes. Please stay with me. Okay. So what I have to do here is I have to create a method. The method, what it does, like what are the, it will check whether it is whether it has to check whether it is a the word is matching or not. To check that, I have to write some functionality. Let's say convert words where I'll take a line as a string here, because in the map will pass a line, right? So after when you give a line, what you will do, you'll break it and you will check whether this word is matching or not, and then you return. So while you're returning it, it will be array. While you're returning, it will be array. Okay, array of strings. Array of string. So in this, what I need to do, first I need to break my line. That is what we do here, right? That's what we do. We'll break our line, right? You'll read this and we'll break your line, and you will return the elements, right? So that's what I'm doing here. So first I'll take the line. So what I'll do here, votes equal to your line dot split. You are splitting with the space. We need to split it with the space. After that we need to check whether the word is available or not. To check that, what we need to do, we have to write our if condition. So we'll need to loop through all these the stop words, and we need to check either everything is matching or not, is matching or not. So for that, first we take one variable, return variable or output, I'll say outvar. Let's say out variable. Okay, so this out variable should be array, because we'll be returning as array of string, or return variable is this. Okay, loop through word, so words, word and words. Now, so the words, I get all the words. Here we should check whether this variable is there in the map or not. Map is our broadcast variable map. Okay, if BC variable, right? Our variable's name is the BC variable, BC word, BC word. So BC word or BC words, BC words. Broadcast words dot value. The broadcast variable will have a dot value. Contains, this broadcast variable value contains whatever the word we read here, word dot will convert into same case. Okay, to lower case. Otherwise we should ignore the case. So here the small a is there, I get the capital A, still it's a valid, I should not take. Okay, so I'll convert everything into case, and if I say any space is there, I'll trim. Any spaces are there, trim. Replace, I'm replacing them, I'm replacing. So here I'll use the replace all with the regular expression. I'm replacing, try to understand guys, I'm replacing here. So the regular expression, every character, any character. Okay, that's, so what we will do, start with the cap 6, cap A to Z, if any character start with this, okay, just to replace with the empty, okay. So look at here guys, we should go with the negative condition. Look at here, BC words is my map dot value contains this, should not contain, should not contain. So I'll go with the negative condition here, not contain. When it not contain, then only you emit, then only you emit. So what we will do here, we will put into our outvar, out will your adding to the your list, you're adding to your array, this array, and you will return that array, okay. So outvar, so this is how we'll add the elements, this is how the elements, okay, this is how we will add the elements. So take this, then out of the loop should return that, return outvar. Let me explain the method once again. So this method I'm going to use in the map, flat map. Okay, in the flat map, what we are doing, as for the old example, we are taking the line, we are breaking it. So now what I'm doing, not only breaking, Not only breaking, I'm taking the words and looping through the word. I'm making sure that the words not available, whichever the word is not matched with the map, whichever the word is not matched with the broadcast things. So I'm taking them. Whichever is matched, I'm just ignoring. Whichever is matched, I'm just ignoring. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this. Okay, I'll skip somewhere here for now. So now I got my RDD and broadcast. So now the regular way of doing it, val RDD equal to your text RDD dot flat map. Here you need to pass the convert words method. Here you need to pass convert words. Convert words. You have to pass convert words method. Okay. So what this convert words will do, it will make sure that those words are not available, right? Let's see rdd.gloom.collect. I just want to check whether is any one of the word contains a and such kind of things. We do not have such kind of things are not there. Okay, but d is out. D is there. 2 is there. I don't know whether we have that element in the that is there. Dan is there. Why these? But D is there. Why it is not matched? We need to check. Is there anything space? Is it the comma? 2 also there.
Oh,
No, let's
Ravi.
check here. We have removed some of the words. We removed some of the words. So in our list, we need to check. Yeah, we don't have. Sorry, guys. Please keep yourself. We don't have them. Look at here. Oh, out, over, own. Then we directly move to S. We don't have other. We are not putting it because we removed. Here it is there, but we removed due to some issue. Okay. So that's the reason they are coming. Good. I think it means that it's working fine. Okay. It's
Ravi, can
removed.
you
It's
please
ignored
explain
those
the
things.
yeah,
So then, sorry.
yeah, can you please
Go ahead.
explain the if condition?
First, try to understand this part. If any one of the word is matching with this pattern, okay, first look at here. Broadcast variable word dot value contains this word in the loop. We are getting word, so we are taking this till here. The word, whatever the word we have, we're taking that word, converted into lowercase and trimmed it, and replacing that word. If any of the starting, I mean, any of the word is like A to Z, like what I can say, regular expression is start with A to Z, any of the character, and we are replacing with this. And we're checking that is this replaced value contains here. Is this replaced value contains here? Okay, let me put in this way. Okay, you'll understand it. Now you'll understand what is this. This is meaning of this. Okay, not started. Any in the same way. Let me do one thing with the number. Okay, it's coming with about. Before, if it is not any, let me show that another one. Let me save it some extra symbol. Okay, so this replacing, you are look at the closely. So one about, it replaced one, it removed the one and did about. Suppose if I have a space trimmed, because I already have a trim. This is any starting letter, A to Z, any non-alphabet, it means the any non-alphabet. You understand, Rishabh? In the word, if any non-alphabet, it is
Yeah,
removing.
got it.
Okay, not only that, since I have used all, okay,
Between. From in between also it will remove.
yes, so replace all. Okay, so then I'll get the exact word, correct? Then I'll get the exact word.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get that exact word, that word here, I got the exact word. Now that word is contains in the broadcast, is not contains. Okay, we need to check, is not contains. You should not be there in this list. No, whatever the word I get should not be there here. Whatever the word I got here as result of this should not be in the broadcast map. If it is not there, then I'm putting into this, then only I'm returning it. If it is not there, then only I'm returning it. Clear? Yes, no?
Yeah, Ravi.
Okay, so rest all same. Okay, rest all is same. You got your flat map, you got this, then you go with your map, then you go with your reduce by key, and everything is same. Then everything is same. Try this program. Okay, whatever I have explained. Okay, for this, let me quickly keep a couple of things. Stopwords, need this. Need this here. Then I need this loop. Then I need this loop.
Ravi,
After loop,
stop word map is a function.
which one?
No,
This one.
we created this, right?
You tell me. We gone
No,
through
no,
our
it's not a
other
function,
classes.
it's a value. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Very simple, guys. We created an array. We gone traverse through array and we put into map. It's a map. Stopwords map is a map. Mutable map, because we are adding. We keep modifying elements. It's a mutable map. That map we did the broadcast. So this one I will make use here in the flat map. It's very simple. Instead of writing this functionality, I'll write like this. When I do, what will happen? It will take the first line. It will send to this method. So I'll get the first line here. The line will be splitted. When I split it, I'll get the words. This words will go take through the condition. This words takes through the condition. The rest all is same. Again, after converting, then you go with the map, then you go with reduce by key, then you will write into filer. The rest all is same. This is clear? This is clear? Any questions? So this is how we use the broadcast. Now what happened when I did the broadcast? This broadcast is available with every task. Any doubts? Any doubts? Okay, so if no doubts, we'll leave for the day. So we'll connect tomorrow and we'll talk about the accumulators. Accumulators also similar kind of purpose only. So that's a read and write operator. So we will discuss that in the next session. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time. Let's connect tomorrow.